All right, what's going on, everyone? Um, Here we are with our morning prep. This is actually the first time that we're doing this, so we'll see how it goes. Um, but yeah, it's 9:22. Um, the New York session is about to open. It is July 7th, so we're actually starting this fresh from July 4th, and honestly, this is just going to document and mark our journey when it comes to trading. And in all honesty, win or lose, I don't really care about impressing anybody, but I do care about seeing and recording the progress beyond this point because we never know how helpful it could be to someone else who is trying to get to, wherever it is that we're trying to get to as well. And that's being consistently profitable, accomplishing your dreams and your goals, whatever that might look like. Okay, so we're gonna do our very best to be as consistent with this as possible, and today is just gonna really start off the first day. All right. I'm not really much of a talker when it comes to this recording mess. And in future references, probably be doing this a lot more often, but for right now, this is what it is that we're going to do. As you guys can see, we already have our lines set up for the day. What these lines essentially is our playing field, for lack of a better word. So any time and moment that we do see these lines, we play within these quadrants. We do not, we stray away from going further beyond why, because the main goal here is to do the damn job. In all honesty, win or lose, execute the plan. If it makes you money, great. It makes you some damn money. If you lose money, great. Okay, but the whole bottom line is to document what it is that we have. So this is our pre-market setup. These are going to relatively update. We always make sure, as always, to be well aware of when and where the market decides to open up at in relation to these lines, because that's going to be very definitive. That's going to be a very defining indicator as to how it is that we trade for the day. Coming fresh off of July 4th holiday weekend, I really want to play it very carefully, but we'll see what the market gives us until then. And in the meantime, while the markets are opening up in about maybe 5 minutes or so, for anybody that is going after the desire to want to be a consistent, profitable trader in some aspect, just know and realize that there's gold at the end of the tunnel, but you got to make your way through it. If everybody, and I say this because of the fact that there are a number of people that have come to me in regards to help when it comes to futures trading, options trading. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's still the same process that you got to go through. And all trading simply does is simply reveal who you are on the inside and what you're trying to hide from the world. If you don't know how to be patient when it comes to your trades, I promise you it's probably because you don't know how to be patient in real life. Okay, if you have revenge trading issues, 9 times out of 10 you just don't know when to let shit go. If you switch back and forth between strategies and you fail to commit to one, to 9 times out of 10 something in your life that involves commitment, commitment stipulations or whatever, is going to show up in your trading. Okay, so if you're a person that's trying to get to where the 1%, because I'll probably say about 1% of futures traders are actually profitable. Don't quote me on that number, but it's opposed to what social media gives out and pushes out to you. There are very, very little profitable, consistent 5-figure earning traders doing this. And the best way of how you can get to that point is to simply address all the things within yourself before thinking that this is something get rich. Okay. Definitely takes patience. So right now, 9 times out of 10, depending on how the market's open, and I shuffle back and forth between SPY and ES or MES in order to do this, just because of the fact that sometimes looking at these levels are a little bit easier on SPY, and then I'll just extract those same levels off of onto ES and vice versa. So even right now, obviously, when it comes to this 624 is gonna be a major area for us. If it can manage to overtake, then that can possibly lead us back up into the 525 area. Which to me makes a number of sense, because what that simply means is, in addition to that, what level is this for ES? This is probably like around your 510 area or so. I'm gonna give you an exact number. It's like the 509. So if it can make its way back up to that 509 area, then you can possibly have a retest back up into the 525. Yeah. So this level might actually be important. This level may in fact be important. I guess we're just gonna figure out what the hell it is that we need to do today. When you get small intervals like this, it's very hard for you to determine what side of the price action that you typically want to be on. And the reason why is because when you actually start, these lines actually allow us to measure our risk to reward ratio before we actually take a trade, which I love, because you can kind of distinguish how much you're willing to risk versus how much. Let's say, for instance, right here, right? Number one, okay, that's 300, but it's not even worth it, you know. So that definitely allows us. But let's go ahead and switch over to regular market hours so we can figure out and determine where our market open level is in about 8 seconds, and then go from there. And according to this, our market closes up here. Our open is smack dab right here. You can already see we're heading up to that 307, 308 area. Yeah, whatever area it's trying to rescue is probably around here. That's that 310 area. So already we got a drop. I don't believe we have anything scheduled for the day either. So if I'm looking at this already, I wouldn't say that there's nothing worth shorting unless it's below 622. Which leads me to believe that there's nothing worth shorting unless we're below 62.91. See, that's a confusing thing too. You don't want to be around this area as well. So if anything, your short window is probably somewhere honestly below 62.85. the only thing that this is showing me is this right here. I will say if we remain below here, then this is a possible short. Mm. Mm. We'll see. So far, I don't really have anything that's worth trading right now. My whole thing is if this breaks down, then the whole thing come down for real. depending on where this closes, and this will get adjusted, then we can possibly man, you got at least 500. That's solid. I'm really just putting this as a placement holder for right now in case this does break down. And should it, I mean, we can stand to have I'm not risking 750. You can do 500 for 975. It's a very big possibility that we can get something like this. See, like depending on where this kind of closes at, this will adjust. But if we can get that, then I think we'll be good for today, hopefully. And the thing about us when we do this, gotta throw it in the Discord as well. If we can get a retest possibly here, then I'll take it. Yeah, just give me a retest, and then if it checks out, yeah, if it checks out, it checks out. I'll probably say if it gets above here, it's worth a long. Yeah. VIX is doing absolutely nothing. It's crazy how you can have something like this happen over the weekend and now we have nothing on in terms of volatility. Okay. Well, looks like this may not be the move. I suppose you can't do nothing until then. Okay, well. Alexa, play some music that I like.
Philip Nelson station from Apple Music.
That's a lot better. Alexa, volume 1. I like to think that all of this right here is chop suey. Of course, you can have a leg up in some aspect, but honestly, I wouldn't consider longer than anything until we probably get back up to the 63.12 area. Like everything else is just plain straight up chop suey. So we'll see how that goes. And even this, not really worth it in my opinion until we get around here. Because if we get a breakdown of this, okay. I might have to go back and check. I might have to go back and check. This might be a short window right here. Alexa, next song. Oh man. Yeah, that might actually be the short window right here. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's not really gonna change too much, but hey, is all this simply does is just define our risk. So, like, say for instance, we do crack down here, which it looks like we are. Our short is still there. The only difference is, yeah, hate that. I fucking hate that, but hey. Versus. But again, margins would just be different. I figured that's where we, okay. Let's see if we can get a retest back up here. If we can, then we'll give it a go. Okay. Let's see if we can get a retest and just. Do a 150. All right, well, that's our play. Let's see how it works out. Then I suppose after we're done with this, we'll take. We're already 45 minutes into this video. I'll probably take some time in the common and just having a commentary on how we kind of set up our trading, whether it goes good or not. Take some time to talk about what we could have or should have did better at, and then we'll just go from there, and then we'll just rinse and repeat from here on out until we get a huge following enough for us to continue to build more and really give more to people, you know. So, but for the time being, this is a waiting game, and in all honesty, this is my time to go and get something to eat and some more coffee. But just as a helpful tip for anybody, while we're sitting here playing this waiting game, if you do not journal your trades, you're definitely missing out on a number of things. I know there are a number of people that utilize TradeZilla. I really just write mine down in my journal. I'll draw. I'll Let me see where the hell my journal at. And I'm really showing this just to let you know what the overall progress is. I haven't started using TradeZilla yet, or going electronic. But what it is that I've taken time to do over time, I will take time to literally just draw out each. And I have probably about 2 journals of these. I will take some time to actually draw out what it is that I'm looking at and what needs to, what was the play. Whatever it is that you particularly have to do in order for you to understand your system, in order for you to understand what you need to work on. If it's a good day, obviously you're going to journal. If it's a bad day, that is the time and the day where you need to journal the most. If you're trying to pass a funded account and you blow the account, make sure that you put in your notes that you failed. Okay, make sure there's no fluff when it comes to the level of critique that you need to hear. Now, I'm not talking about just beating yourself down and nothing like that, right? Don't just say, "Oh, I'm a shit ass." No, but genuinely have a good conversation with yourself about the emotions that you're experiencing. I didn't have patience today. I didn't follow the rules. I was seeing red and I was revenge trading, and I thought that I had the markets down pat. So I decided to go beyond. I utilized my emotions instead of being a machine and just following the damn system. It's just like those are the kind of things that you want to put down. Talk about what was good today. Talk about what was bad today. Talk about what you needed improvement on. Talk about trading psychology, whether you held all the way down to your target or anything. Have those kind of conversations, because those are the ones that are going to help build you to where you want to be. We're sitting right now at $400, and again, this is what allowed us, right, to get to defining our system right now, right? So if you're a person that does TradeZilla, you do it electronically. We're looking to transition in the future, but for right now, if you don't have the money for TradeZilla, if you don't have the time for you to do it, pick up a physical journal and start writing down every single thing that you know. Write down every single thing, because this is what's going to prove evidence for the kind of trader, the kind of individual that you would like to become for yourself right now. Let's get back to this real quick. I think probably after this, I'm going to go ahead and move my stop to a break-even area. I'm pretty sure this is probably going to catch my target before deciding to, though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just going to hit my. Hopefully we can get the target hit and we can just go on about our day. Thinking about whether or not I should take profit or just let it stretch. And again, these are highs. LOL. See, and this is the thing that I kind of struggle with right now. It's like at certain times I wanted to hit my target, and a lot of times they do, but also it's just like, okay, what is it that you should do? Break even, which means you're already in green, or should you just take what you already have because you don't want to be greedy? And the answer to that question really lies in what your priorities are. If your goal is to master your system, then your main goal every single day should be getting to break even, and that's it. And allowing your targets to hit every single time. If it doesn't, you don't lose anything if you're at break even. But if your goal is to get to a certain amount and everything, of course, you still follow your system, but that's where you kind of take the load off and everything. Like even right now, we're sitting at 375, which is understandably okay in my opinion. And we're monitoring, but I really want to get to the 62.91 area so we can just have our almost $1,000 day and then just keep it moving. But again, that changes when you're in the midst of trading. Alexa, next song. Yeah, we'll take this, which is kind of sad. It's so sad. I mean, it's not. Yeah, that's actually pretty sad. Yeah, that's actually pretty sad. I mean, I hate it. I hate that. And it is, and again, this is certain stuff. Is just like, okay, well, and we're that close. Because now my question is, yeah, now my direct question is this: did our lines not treat us the way that we needed to be treated today? Oh, that sucks. Okay. And 9 times out of 10, this is probably it's probably gonna go to our target. and you're already in a hazy area. I think what's gonna end up happening, we're probably gonna get a retest. You're probably gonna get a retest. I mean, we had 6. Oh, that sucks. That's probably what we're looking at 9 times out of 10. We are not going to be taking this, only for the simple fact that, I mean, rules are rules, and it's your one and done day. I mean, we might make another one, but Alexa next song. Yeah, in all honesty, I mean, and the reason why I say this is because now you have to battle with the fact. Yeah, I think this is probably what we're gonna have for the day. 9 times out of 10, though, I can probably see this heading further down. Yeah, because I mean, look at that. I think where I messed up at, was actually here, probably. Yeah, it absolutely was. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and take another record on this because towards the end of our first video, we got a lot of scratchiness and just terrible recording feedback. But as you guys can see, this play actually ended up playing out very nicely. So this just goes to show you, from someone who has a good amount of knowledge in trading psychology and the overall markets, to always let your system play out. Do not be afraid of the fact that it goes back up or anything like that. We were able to profit about $143 or 287 per 2 accounts versus the 950 that we would have actually made. And the mishap that we realized when it came to this was actually, first and foremost, always adjust your stop loss and move it towards your green area after a fair value gap is already formed. So the mistake that I went ahead and made was actually anticipating a fair value gap being made here when we actually had a retest of the initial area, and then this was our fair value gap. Now if we actually go back here to the initial play, us actually moving it right there, that would have given us, that's exactly where we got stopped out
stopped out at. But the very big difference here is that now at least we have a fair value gap that's actually completed, so that way that can be utilized as your insurance, or what I like to call, for supporting more profit to the downside or upside or whatever kind of direction that you personally want to be at. If this played out correctly and we allowed it to, then we would have been profited $950, which is about, I believe, $1,900 total for those two accounts. Okay, so again, this is something that we're going to be committed towards doing and pouring in. If this is something that is helpful for you, definitely feel free to like the video. Definitely make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss out on any other videos that we have, whether it be our daily trading regimen or even talking about macroeconomic news and anything stocks related that you feel like you can definitely tap into, and more importantly, take advantage of. Okay, so again, catch you guys in the next video. Super excited for this. I'm super excited for anybody else who's honestly stoked about this. Catch you guys in the next one.